welcome to your one card Gypsy reading of the week. Welcome to all the new followers to this amazing VIP group, and don't forget to share and share alike. So if you have a family member or a friend who enjoy this sort of stuff too, then pass it on, because it's all free and it will remain free for the Gypsy card reading of the week. Yeah, so the reason I do it is because I like educating people on these things, and I like helping people. That doesn't take a whole lot of time, but it can reach so many people. So if you do have a friend or family member that is into this stuff, then definitely share it, because you don't know what they can get from it. You might not get something one week, whereas they may have had received really valuable information for their life. So that's why I say, support and promote the page, and thank you to everybody that does that, because it's free. What more can you ask for? I am going to be running a free course on these Gypsy cards and Gypsy card readings in the new year. So really be ready for that. Keep your eyeballs peeled for that amazing course, which, as I said, will be free. And yes, so let's begin with this week's one card reading. And don't forget that if you'd like your own personal reading, that you can order one through the page or through the website. So here we go. This week's one card reading is the Sun. What a beautiful card to have, just coming up to Christmas time indeed. So when we look at the Sun, we are drawn to all different aspects to this particular imagery and illustration. So with the one card readings every week, I say to the viewers and listeners to just sit back and see what stands out to you in the card. It can be one thing, it can be several things. So I'm going to let you sit here for a moment and have a look at the card and just find out what stands out for you. Don't look too hard, just go, what aspects of the card stand out? So I'll be quiet and I'll get back to you in a minute after you have a lovely little look at this amazing card of the week. The Sun is an amazing image indeed. If you're drawn to the colours around the outside of the Sun, which is this beautiful red and black and yellow, this cluster of colours, the colours represent feelings and emotions and actions. So we see the red as being one of high creativity and one of executing ideas, whereas the yellow is the colour of creativity itself, ideas, thoughts, innovation, just everything that comes into your mind that you want to bring to life. And as I've mentioned in the past, when doing aura readings, if somebody has an all yellow aura, it means that they are quite creative and have a lot of thoughts in their mind. But it needs that red energy to execute those ideas. So if we have someone with an all red aura, then that person is sort of chasing their tail. They're doing a lot of stuff, but there's no epic results that are seen from doing that. So we need that balance, and this card, if you're drawn to the colors of it, show that sort of symbiotic kind of balance between these two colors. They feed off each other, they nourish each other. We have to sort of have this idea and then it come to life, and this process happens where we think and then we create and we do, and it just goes and it just fuels the fire and it keeps going, and there's that balance that's showing there. So if you feel like you run off your feet, you'll be able to find energy that comes into your life and into your existence where you can start planning stuff. You can start having time to make goals, and then your time is more valuable because it's actually doing something. If you feel that your creativity is all in your head and it's like, I've got no time to do it, then you will find that time will be spared and can't become available to you to execute those ideas. So I often see this with women with children or with jobs that they work, whether it be in the home or out of the home, that it's just they want to do so much. And I'm always a person that pushes, especially women, to get everything that they want. A lot of people say, well, I didn't have children, or I'm not going to have children because I want a career. And some people say, well, I don't want a career because I want to have children, but I believe that people can have both, and they should have both. And people often say, well, I've got a career and children, I don't have time to do what I want to do. Then, that is the balance that I always look for in my clients. I always try and help find, that sort of three-way split if they've got, a job, children, and that third aspect of the self is so important. And as I've mentioned in the past, it's very important that we turn up for our own lives every day. That, it's not the boss's show of the day. We don't wake up in the morning to turn up to the boss's show, and we don't wake up in the morning to be the star of your children's show. Sorry, don't mind me. But primarily, you need to turn up for your own show, and everything else is just, inspired and wraps around that. You are the center of your universe, because if you're not, you're turning up for somebody else every day. And yes, we do all have bosses, but we still have to incorporate time for ourselves. And it's not just a throwaway term. It's not, oh, you've got to make time for yourself. It's not that thing. This is your life, and you have to live it in a way that is yours, not someone else's. So, especially for when we do have children, people do obviously, by nature, turn up, for their children every day. That's our job, it's our role. But the fact of the matter is that one day the children will, in fact, move away from home and live their own life or their own show, which continues on. And what happens is often when women turn up for everybody else's show and the children leave the house, they're left with, who am I? I don't know who I am. Because my whole life I've been living, turning up for work for somebody else. I've been living, turning up for my child every day. But the self is totally depleted. It doesn't know itself besides these robotic kind of functions of, tending to everybody else. But as women, we are more than just women. We're not just wives and mothers and sisters and aunts. We are an amazing being that is capable of so much. So 2015, as I say to many clients when I do readings, that it is the year that we have to make ours. No more of this bullshit of the past where we're sort of slaves to everybody else. And this is not some weird sort of feminist movement. It is about us as humans and deserving and requiring that right to follow whatever the hell we want to follow. And that doesn't mean that it puts anybody else out along the way at all. It's just appreciating our time. And those who love us around us should also appreciate our time. They should want us to shine and be that beacon and not go through this life being, oh, that was Billy's wife. Oh, that was Johnny's mum. Oh, there's Johnny's mum. No, it's, there's Alice. There she is. That's what we want. And I'm not a fan of mediocrity. I'm not a fan of that. Some people believe that they like that role, but I disagree. I think deep down that everybody has that spark, and I always look for that spark. And that's another one of my sort of jobs on the side that I do is I'm a talent scout too for creative content on YouTube. So I seek people out that have that spark, but everybody has that spark. They just have to work on giving the grace of time to it. Whether you be into quilting or just creating things, it's important to perfect that and get it better and better and better. And if you've got a child in a family who is capable of so much, fuel that. Give that child all the tools that they need to really follow that, not push them into doing sport just because it's sport, but just fueling their unique fire. And there's so many children out there that are incredibly creative that sort of just don't get focused on, unfortunately, but they do end up shining in the end in their own time and in their own way. And in their bedrooms when they create at night time, and a lot of parents don't see this work, and it's just left shut tied in a book, and it's like, what are you doing, Jane? Oh, I'm just drawing. Have you seen the drawings? Because besides the fact that we need to nurture ourselves and turn up for our own live show, we're also raising children, on the side that have to realize this too. So there's this really desperate need for balance in everybody's lives. So getting back to the card, this shows that kind of action, that energy and motion in your life if you're drawn to these colors. And I highly recommend, if you are a creative person and do want these things in your life, which who wouldn't, to try and surround yourself with these warm colors. It's like when we sit in front of a warm fire. I seen an image this morning, correct myself, where it was a beautiful Christmas setting. And I'm so jealous because obviously I'm Australian, and our Christmases are in summer, and obviously in heat waves and things like that. So people go to the beach for summer, and it's a little twisted because we're sort of, when we grow up, we see all these beautiful images of snow at Christmas time, and when we get Christmas, it's like far out. I'm sweating my ass off, And this morning I saw a beautiful picture, and it had two little chairs, beautifully upholstered chairs in front of a fireplace, and two little teacup sort of things, coffee like mugs, and little chocolates and marshmallows and things like that. And it had Christmas stockings hung up and a beautiful fire there. And those colours represent that time and place where you can feel so much stuff and live in that moment and feel it. It's not just like a lazy, this is a nice fun jolly good time. It was representing a scene where you could see two people and yourself sitting together and having this moment of appreciation and just being in that moment. And that's what that picture captured to me. And these colours represent that kind of feeling. It's living in that moment and feeling that sort of, that thing that makes us different from all the animals in the kingdom. It makes us feel special and have a bigger purpose in life, not just to perform, basically. That was a very long-winded explanation to this colour, but that's what I'm saying there. If you're drawn to the image of the sun itself, this is a wonderfully good symbol in the tarot deck. This is one of the best cards because, as I always say, I say, everything is gestated in darkness and strives towards the light. Everything, seeds growing under the ground and reaching up for the warmth of the sun above, and it's about coming out of the other side of that dark tunnel. It's about reaching that destination where you can finally feel healed and re-energized. It is an image of reminding us to frolic and play in life and make sure we have time to do that. Now, I'm one that is a workaholic. Everybody that has anything to do with any of my pages knows how ridiculous I am when it comes to working. It is insane. But we do need to have that time to play, and I actually do make that time. Now, yes, I may have less hours of sleep than the normal person, but it's very important that we do have that time, and it's very important that we do go outdoors to do that and not be inside, because not only do we're in a stuffy environment and a dusty environment and a lack of vitamin D, which I have, environment. The sun is incredibly, people teach so many people the sun is bad, it's going to burn you, get out of the sun. We need to be in the sun for a sensible period of time, but it's just re-energizing. And if you've ever been snorkeling or swimming on a sunny day, especially snorkeling, which is my favorite thing to do, and scuba diving is my favorite thing to do, this beautiful watery weightless energy and the sun beaming down and just re-energizing you so you feel alive. If you feel dead inside and you can get to a location to do that, to snorkel, and not to a sort of shitty kind of location like the local lake and stuff, not like that, I would recommend plan a holiday to somewhere that is very tropical that has that, because you will feel so re-energized in life, especially scuba diving. Let me just chat about scuba diving. Scuba diving is the only place that I've ever been where it is like you're on a different planet. It's basically like if one was to take were to take drugs and be on a different plane of existence. This is a total peaceful, relaxational state of mind to swim under the water. And people go, oh, I don't think I would breathe properly. You just breathe normally through the regulator. And you can hear the fish eating the coral. It's just, for people that hate noise, it is the best thing in the entire world, that you're just, immersed in this environment of just peace, tranquility, and watching this beautiful wildlife world, this aquatic life, live and exist in total peace and harmony, and just seeing the coral sort of swaying and just all that stuff, the bubbles coming up and hearing your own breath. If you want to meditate, go do that. You don't need to be umming and ahhing in the middle of a room with another 50 people. If you like to do that, then good. But I tell you what, if you want total nirvana, go under the ocean. And that's my hot tip. That is my hot tip. It is incredibly amazing. And even snorkeling is the same thing. If you live in Australia, you need to get to the Barrier Reef or Cairns, any place that has those facilities. You will thank me forever for that. If you live in Australia, I highly suggest going to Airlie Beach. There is, and I'm not paid for this, I haven't had much to do with this company besides the last time that I paid and went on this tour, and that was Airlie Beach. It was an exclusive charter to a place called Black Island. I think I've posted pictures on the page of this before, and the yacht was called the Domino, and it's a husband and wife that run this. And you get on this yacht. Now, I was lucky because my husband and I were the only ones on it. It's usually, you have a group, and this, I'm not sure if they still do, but they have exclusive access to Black Island, and it's this just pristine island, and you get to go on this yacht and you go all the way to this island. He drops you off. It's a husband and wife thing, so she makes the lunches. Oh my god, this salmon, the friggin' salmon salad thing that we had on the ship there, on the boat, and then they drop you off and you just stay there like all day, basically, if you want half a day, whatever, and you are living basically. Now, let me just tell you that one of my favourite movies is Blue Lagoon, and I'm a little bit of a role player in my mind, that I, pretended that we were, in my mind, I didn't say let's pretend we're stranded, but it was like living in that moment of, I don't have electricity. I don't care that I don't have electricity. So if you can get there, if you're around that area, I'm not sure if they still do it. I'd love to look it up. But it was Domino. I'll try and look up the link and then put it there. But beautiful husband and wife couple. He'll take you out there and go to Black Island, snorkel for the day, and you'll thank me. It is fucking amazing. It is amazing. And when you see that water, that beautiful crystal clear blue water, it's just mind-blowing. It's so mind-blowing. There's nobody else around. You don't see boats and shit all around the place. And I'd gone to, and I'd put this on TripAdvisor before, that there's this other tour in the Barrier Reef around Airlie Beach, and you go on this big cruise line, not cruise, it's a big, like, massive catamaran kind of thing, and it's the most horrible experience. It's like a 1 or 2 hour trip out to the Barrier Reef, and it's this big tourist one that they do. And I don't get seasick. I felt sick as shit going on this thing, this big catamaran, and you go out there and the coral's sort of half dead. And that's when I sort of went snorkeling the second time. Scuba diving the second time, and it was just horrible to go under the ocean and see the coral dying, and it was just a horrible experience. And like when you get on the ship, they would be taking photos left, right and centre in your face all the time of yourself, and it's like, oh yeah, pay, it was a ridiculous amount per photo, and it was disgusting, and that's the one I would not recommend. So if you're ever going travelling to the Barrier Reef in Australia and you remember somebody suggesting to go on this big catamaran tour to the reef, and it's got like a big pontoon and stuff, they got slippery dips, and kids can snorkel, don't go to that one. It's fucking terrible. It absolutely is the worst waste of money, and then you've got to go all the way back to dock, and you'll feel sick as shit. You'll take your ginger tablets and everything like that. And I don't even get seasick, but I did with this one. I didn't vomit, but it was horrible. It was probably the most traumatic, because you're stuck on a ship out in the middle of nowhere that you don't want to be in. So that's my lecture. So if you're Australian, or if you're from overseas and then you do come here, I hope they're still running. If they're not, then just try and find something similar to do that with the Domino on Airlie Beach. Another one that I would recommend is Vanuatu. Amazing trip that was. I went to see Mount Yasur volcano twice. The reason I saw that, I was inspired by watching Survivor, and yes, I did mount the volcano, the active volcano, twice, and went on a 4-wheel drive tour there. It was amazing. It was truly an amazing experience. I stayed at the Whitegrass like resort, and they've got like generators there, so they come on at like 5 o'clock at night or something like that, and that's really amazing too, that place, because it's on Tanner Island, so it's very quiet. The whole place is really quiet. Food is really expensive. Dinners are so expensive, so prepare for that stuff. But Vanuatu is an amazing place, but I don't think you could beat the beaches of Australia. Good luck trying to do that, because it's not going to work. That said, yeah, get out, frolic in the sun. God, I love going off the track, don't I? If you're drawn to the scroll underneath this beautiful sun image, this is representing the months of the year, so it is one of being patient. You need to be patient. I know a lot of people that are listening to this get the same message every week, and they think, shit, not again, damn patience, it's this stupid virtue I need to learn. The scroll does represent that. It represents that everything will come in its season. So if you've been sort of getting impatient with people or situations, you need to stop that, stand back and go, all in good time, all in good time. It will come when it's supposed to come. It is that, and we see that this icon below the sun is casting this shadow around the 5 to 6 month period. So if you're waiting for something in particular and you're drawn to that, and a lot of people go, holy shit, I didn't even notice that in this particular card, this like icon is casting this shadow like a sundial. And so we're looking around that you know, May to June mark next year. So if you're going, oh, well, you know, when will that happen? Have a look around that time. Hot tip. If you're looking for the sunburst, if that stands out to you too, that indeed is a divine protection energy. So if you feel down and depleted, you know, you'll feel a little bit more protected and a little bit more safer, sort of like a big hug kind of thing. If you're drawn to the ace in the corner, the ace is like a very powerful card. If you play cards, any type of cards, you know, the ace is a hot shit card. We want that card. We see the diamond link with that. That's a great financial energy, because I keep saying to everybody that the gypsy cards are always linked with traditional card playing decks. So this one's the ace of diamonds. Fuck yeah, right? So the ace of diamonds is a very powerful card in regards to finance. So expect that to pick up, and especially around Christmas time, you think, holy shit, Christmas time is the time that I'm broke as. But expect that energy to start, you know, coming into your life. When you keep thinking, oh, I'm broke, oh, I got no money, none of this, none of that, then more of that shit's going to come. And like I say, every time that I do these readings, every week, I always put links below of law of attraction books, such as Abraham Hicks. I know lots of people love The Secret, which was a rip-off of the Abraham Hicks works. If you go back and have a look at, you know, all the writings that Jerry Nestor Hicks, unfortunately Jerry passed away, you know, have this incredible library of law of attraction work, and making sure that you're in this vortex, and the vortex represents being in that mindset and that mind frame, but more so that feeling. So thinking about, you know, the positive things that can come to you, but feeling them. So getting out and doing those things that trigger that feeling of more good things to come to you. And in the past I have, you know, been a little bit upset about vision boards. I love vision boards, by the way. I don't like the idea that people think that they can look at them and these things can magically come. That is stupid. I'm not going to get into that again, because I've already done that in past weeks. But the goal is important. We always need images for our goals. We always need that reminder But that reminder only goes so far. That reminder only triggers our brain to think about it, and then we need to action our vibrational energy to match the thought, and then go from there. So if you're drawn to the 31 up in the corner, it's very much one of the month, the date of the month. So this is New Year's Eve this month. So there's something special happening there, a new sort of evolutionary sort of energy within you, a new thriving energy. So you'll find that, 2015 is one that you'll feel much more in control of, which is good. If you're drawn to the black around the outside of it, this is representing possibilities. So it's sort of like a blank slate, but it's black, sort of a blank slate. The black is the colour that is a lot like white in that way, that it's possibilities, it's the unknown, which is a wonderful thing indeed. You may be drawn to certain, areas of this card that I've not covered, say the stars in the background. Stars represent dreams all the time, goals and dreams. But other than that, if you do see other weird sort of things in the card, then feel free to comment on the pages where this is posted, because I can't get to every email. If you saw my email inbox, you would just vomit. It's insane. That's about it. I will leave you with it, so don't forget to let me know how this reading helped you and how it made sense. And I always put up little quotes on the page, and I always take people's lovely words and put them into quotes and then put them up on the page. It's just a gratitude thing, so that's nice to have. Remember, if you want a reading, feel free to book one. I am super busy over the next couple of weeks. I will not be reading in the week of Christmas as far as I know, but that's about it. So hope you enjoyed the reading this week, and remember, if you need to practice law of attraction, there's the links. There should be links when I actually put this out below, that you can access the library that I recommend anyway. And that's about it. So I'll leave you with it. Have a good day or night whenever you're listening to this, and until next time, thank you for choosing me as your reader.